it's kind of nice to see two women kiss. Just
Actually,
saying.
it's actually a work of art.
Just saying. Just saying. You don't like that?
All right.
I understand it, but not that bad.
No, absolutely, Willie. You and I, we're cut from the same sheet of paper. Let's be honest about this part, okay? But the only thing I have to counter about that is if this option, these two girls kissing, doesn't change anything in this story, why have it? Like, I'm not, and again, I'm not trying to say that you should not be doing that. Burger. I don't really care about that part.
I mean,
My thing is, if it's not needed, why add it? But then my thing is there more to that DLC that kind of leads to that? You get me?
No. He's got a point.
Yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Updates, brought to you by digitalcracknetwork.com.
I broke him, ladies and gentlemen. This is a broken man you see before you.
I'm not okay. I'm not okay. All right. Okay, I wish I could explain why I'm not okay without getting desensitized or decensored or whatever.
Desensitized?
Anything.
I
No,
mean,
that'd be me.
I think you're thinking demonetized, but that's not going to happen yet.
Yeah. I have to get monetized to be demonetized. There's a lot. I had to decompress really fast. But anyways, guys, welcome to another episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Updates, brought to you by digitalcracknetwork.com. I'm your hilarious dead host right now, Punisher 305. With me as always, old school gaming specialist, Uncle Willie.
Just to explain what happened without, doing anything bad. I couldn't convince Punisher here that people in Thailand for a while were really big fans of a certain German person. And then I showed him.
I just can't believe what I saw. I still to this moment cannot believe what I saw. I can't.
Just a simple little search. Just Google Thailand KFC. The rabbit hole that you're going to go into is phenomenal.
You know what? I seen things and I'm just baffled. But you know what, folks? I'm gonna skip that segment right there.
No,
we have to get straight to the news.
The lesson is always never doubt Uncle Willie.
Yeah, he's right. You don't. But we have to get started, folks, because there's a lot we have to talk about, man. Like, for instance, UK blocks Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal. Dude, what seems to be going on here? Like, they block them how much did they block? What is it true here? 68.7 billion. Wait a minute. Whoa. Let me go back for a second. That's what you son of a gun. Poor Microsoft gets 69 billion, can buy everything. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about it. We gotta talk about it. What's going on here, Willie?
Details first.
Please.
We've been talking for a while about how Microsoft wanted to purchase Activision Blizzard. The exact amount was $68.7 billion. So it's an astronomical amount of money. But there have been people like advocating against it. Chief among them was Sony. They kept saying that, if the deal's approved, it could harm the PlayStation brand and all that bunch of stuff. If you remember, not too long ago, we discussed how the Competition and Market Authority from the UK, the CMA, had basically said, you know what, we've looked at all this, and we don't think that Microsoft is going to go and do something as dumb as deny Call of Duty on PlayStation, because that would seriously hurt their business.
Yes.
And so people in the know and morons like me figured, okay, maybe this is going to lead to the UK giving their blessing. And then they pulled a complete 180 and said, no, the problem that we have is not with PlayStation. It's with cloud gaming. According
Totally
to
left
them, according to them, Microsoft purchasing and owning Activision Blizzard risks, and I quote, stifling competition in this growing market with regards to cloud gaming.
What?
It's, if you think about it in a very, very like surface level type of, a thought, you can say, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Microsoft is trying to make inroads with Game Pass. Them buying a huge third-party publisher, making it their own, and jamming Game Pass down people's throats may indeed stifle competition there. What does NVIDIA have? Yes, NVIDIA has GeForce Now, and they signed an agreement with Microsoft saying, listen, you can have Call of Duty for 10 years.
All right.
But what about all the other games that they can offer? Day and date. Remember, Game Pass's business is we give you games that come out from us day and date on Game Pass. You don't even have to buy the game.
Yeah, you can just play it.
Yes. And so GeForce Now, how are they going to compete with that? Yeah, they'll get Call of Duty. Will they get all the other games? Nintendo, they don't have a competing service. They can get Call of Duty day and date for purchase and digital sale, but they don't have a streaming option. I would say Google, but yeah, okay. What happened to Stadia?
Yeah,
So
but
there's a lot of,
but it's only Xbox if you think about it only.
No,
because even
NVIDIA
PlayStation
has
doesn't have it.
NVIDIA has GeForce Now. Sony doesn't have a true streaming option like that, and they would rather you buy the game instead of streaming it. But Amazon has Luna, and there's been some other inroads here and there with other companies. Just because Xbox is the biggest name that you can think of right now doesn't mean they're the only ones.
Okay.
So the CMA is saying we're afraid that Microsoft owning Activision Blizzard can become a problem in cloud gaming. And I quote the statement from the CMA. The CMA's report contradicts the ambitions of the UK. Oh, this is the response from Activision Blizzard. Let me go ahead and read that. The CMA's report contradicts the ambitions of the UK to become an attractive country to build technology businesses. We will work aggressively with Microsoft to reverse this on appeal. The report's conclusions are a disservice to UK citizens who face increasingly dirty economic prospects. We will reassess our growth plans for the UK. Global innovators, large and small, will take note that, despite all its rhetoric, the UK is clearly closed for business. If you want a quick and dirty translation, you people are mean to me.
Got it.
They can appeal. They can offer some things as little carrots that dangle in front of them, saying, "Okay, you don't like that? We'll have a monopoly on Game Pass. We just won't offer those games on Game Pass. Not in the UK."
So you're just saying, just make a different option for the UK to have them.
It's been done, and regional markets may have different games. Nintendo of Japan offers different games on Switch Online than they offer here. Because just, the market in Japan is not the same here. So they'll have like 5 or 6 different games. Maybe a few more. I don't know. I haven't looked at the libraries, but they'll have different games here and there. Microsoft could do the same thing with Game Pass. If they were to convince the CMA that this is a good idea, they would say, all right, you know what? We won't offer Activision Blizzard games on Game Pass day and date. We'll only offer Bethesda because you all said yes to that already.
Might as well. I mean, but yeah, I don't know, dude. This sounds like there should be a lot more writing to this for the UK. Like, at least go to, like, it's almost like a hostage situation if you kind of look at it, because you're gonna have to make sure you agree to every standard that UK wants and give it to them technically if you want that money.
Not necessarily. I see where you're coming from with this. The thing is, UK's CMA is looking out for the UK.
Okay.
They're trying to do what's best for businesses, not just Microsoft and not just Activision Blizzard and not just Sony. for businesses in the UK. That's as far as they go. Remember
Okay.
that the FTC has already sued Microsoft over this here. And they're supposed to start taking arguments for that in August. The EU also hasn't said anything about this, not final. So maybe UK won't allow it. Maybe the EU will.
I mean,
Kind of
it's a
hard to guess.
possibility. Yeah.
Maybe they can work something out with the FTC, and then the only ones getting screwed here are people who play games in the UK.
Until they start getting like a VPN and they could bypass that crap and
Let's
you know.
not get into that. That's a whole other. But it's possible, yes.
Okay,
It is
but
possible,
fine.
yes.
But it's fine.
Oh,
all right. So what?
Another thing, if this deal doesn't go through because Microsoft is unable to make the purchase, they have to pay Activision Blizzard $3 billion.
Ugh, jeez.
And if Activision backs out and says, you know what, this is too much garbage for us, we don't want to deal with this anymore, they have to pay Microsoft $2.7 billion.
God, so much money on the table if you think about it.
Incalculable amounts of money. You and I cannot actually, like in your mind, can you actually visualize $1 billion?
I can't.
Like that's Scrooge McDuck swimming in gold levels of money.
Oh no, that's amazing money right there. But
That's
fine.
That's Smaug levels. I can't even get a tenth of the way there in my entire lifetime. I can't even get 1% of the way there.
I could barely get even half a penny there, man. What are you talking about? But you know what? It's all fine and dandy. Now I'm pretty interested to know what the audience thinks about this. What do you guys think? You know, what will you guys want from this deal? Let's say if it was up to you, what would you guys want from this deal? Will you accept the deal like UK didn't, or will you like certain standards, or pretty much you want to read the fine print and see what will help you make money out of this business? But I would like to, well, not I always say I, sorry about that, but we would like to hear your thoughts about this. Please comment down below, let us know your thoughts, and let's have a conversation about this. Now, Willie, I think it's time to talk, because there's a lot to talk about what we're going to talk about next. And it's about Horizon Zero Dawn and the DLC, right? So it looks like the Metacritic promises better moderation after abusive Horizon DLC comments. Willie, what's this about? Like, I don't play this game, so I didn't really look into it too much. What seems to be the whole ordeal about this?
Okay. Again, details first. The new DLC for Horizon Forbidden West came out last week. It's called Burning Shores.
Okay.
Overall, it's supposed to be a good DLC. I have not played Forbidden West yet, so I wouldn't know anything about Burning Shores. The reason why Metacritic is chiming in on this is because when the game was released, it came out that there was something in the game that upset what I'm going to put in quotes as gamers.
Okay.
Not people who play video games, certain people that like to be mad about things. If you don't want to know what it is, this is a spoiler alert. This is not really a huge plot moment, but it can be considered a spoiler. You have been warned. At some point, Aloy, the protagonist of the game, is, I guess, interacting with a warrior queen, and there is an optional ability to kiss her. So for Aloy to kiss the warrior queen, her name is Sekia.
Okay.
Completely optional. You could just go on with the rest of the story. It does not change the story in any way. It does not change any characterization of Aloy, because it wasn't like she was a man-thirsty woman. It just, that's all it is. But because that option that does not do anything to the story exists, people, a certain subset of people, lost their minds and started review bombing the game and saying some pretty gross stuff along the way.
Okay.
That's what Metacritic is talking about. Now,
Huh. All right.
I want to hear what you think of first with the whole review bombing in general. Not the section of the game, the review bombing.
Okay. Review bombing. Let's get down to that part. Personally, I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The whole thing about review bombing. Opinions are meant for for a reason. It's your opinion. It doesn't have to be something that you agree with for everybody to freaking understand it. It's just your opinion. Whatever your thoughts are, that's it. Now, review bombing, I think that's just very childish. There's no need for that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like a certain game, why make a why comment about it? Unless there's something in that game that you're like, this game really sucks because XYZ reason. But if just because of one thing in there, it's a bothersome to you, why bother? Why review bomb? You get me? Like
I do have an answer. I do have an answer for that.
Go.
I do have an answer for that. There are people who get upset when, let's say, in the case of Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the really gross loot boxes, the really messed up loot boxes that they put into the game that made the game pay to win?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Okay. Complaining about the game on forums doesn't do anything because that's just getting into an echo chamber. That's just people who hate that screaming about the fact that they hate it so much. Saying that you're not going to buy the game doesn't work because there are plenty of people who see, oh, look, that's Star Wars. Star Wars is good. I like Star Wars. Let me buy this game. So review bombing came out as a way to protest when game companies did really, really crappy things that ruined the game. Like releasing the game and then 2 weeks later adding microtransactions. Activision Blizzard. And that's why people who are on the fence about buying the game go and see the reviews and it's like, oh, people really have a problem with this. Why? And at least get them to think about the purchase. That was the original intent. Now it's become, oh my God, this game didn't do what I expected it to do. I'm going to tell everybody it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah. I don't like this whole review bombing thing. It's just a personal opinion about that. Like review bombing sounds childish and stupid in a way. If there's nothing really to argue about, like if the game is so good, but you're pissed off about an option, I don't think there's a reason for this whole review bombing. Let's be honest.
As for the reason why they're review bombing it,
yes.
If you want my opinion, and I know that no one wants to give a crap about my opinion, some people just need to grow the fuck up. Yes, you have to beat that. Yeah. Some people just need to grow up. You don't like something, don't play it. If it bothers you that much, don't play it. You don't have to sit there and throw a tantrum on Metacritic because, oh my God, a girl kissed a girl. They're only allowed to kiss boys.
No.
You know that.
Well, I want to let you finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know that in some cases, it's kind of nice to see two women kiss. Just saying.
It's actually a work of art.
Just saying. Just saying. You don't like that?
Right.
I understand it, but not that bad.
No, absolutely, Willie. You and I, we're cut from the same sheet of paper. Let's be honest about this part, okay? But the only thing I have to counter about that is if this option of these two girls kissing doesn't change anything in this story, why have it? Like, I'm not trying to say that they should not be doing that. Burger. I don't really care about that part.
I mean,
my thing is, if it's not needed, why add it? But then my thing is there more to that DLC that kind of leads to that? You get me? Like, if there's more to that story, then I'll be like, okay, I get it. There's something there. But the option of either doing it or not doing it, I can see why. You get me?
No. He's got a point.
It's been
Like,
implied
uh-huh.
several times that Aloy is not into dudes.
Okay.
It's been implied. So, her at the very least being questionable with her sexual preference was out there.
Yeah.
So, in my mind, them getting mad about her kissing a woman, it's like, no, I was holding out hope that she was straight and I had a chance with her. That's what it sounds like to me.
No. I mean,
sounds
you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
If it sounds offensive, I'm not trying to sound offensive, but it sounds to me like you're mad that because
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Because she's not a girly girl and you can't kiss her and fantasize about her. She broke the game for you. That's what it sounds like.
And you know what? And you're absolutely right. That's what it sounds like for this whole Metacritic people, putting all this abusive crap on there, man. Like, honestly, that's why I'm thinking about this in the level of what's the outcome of that kiss. That's why I even asked you. I'm like, do you get a plat? Do you get a secret thing about it? Is there something that progresses to this level? Something that goes, if you kiss her, this happens now within the game, or if you don't, like there's what that game I could think about that it's all about options. Like if you do something within the game, it changes the story of the game to
You're
something
talking about
else.
like Walking Dead and Mass Effect does. There's a lot of story, a lot of games that
there we go. Okay, look right there. You're absolutely right. You're on the money right there on the games I'm thinking about. Correct. That's why I kept asking, like, what does it do to the story? Does it change it? Does it do anything? No, it's just a kiss. Okay. So then in my head, I'm like, okay, it's okay. People are getting dumb. Is a little people getting mad about it is a little dumb. But then in my head, I'm like, why add it if it's not going to change any part of the story? Now,
I am going to give you a counter argument to that, and it's going to go. Okay. It's going to be from left field.
Okay.
Because you brought up trophies.
Yes.
Remember the game Lollipop Chainsaw?
Yes.
There is a trophy that you get by looking up Juliet Starling's skirt for 30 seconds. It does not change the story in any way. It is only to get a meaningless trophy for platinum whores like me.
Of course.
I did not hear a single person of these people complaining, oh my God, you're looking up her skirt. It's disgusting.
But you are going to hear that one or two individuals like, I don't think they should be looking at that skirt. That's very sexist.
Well, actually, no, you said it wrong. You said it wrong because the way they're going to tell you is, well, actually, I found it very offensive.
But you know what, man? Honest to God, that's you see, folks, this is something you guys got to learn. Willie and I, even though we're good friends, we have different opinions about certain things. But guess what? Even sharing our opinions about what I think about this and what he thinks about this, we still shake hands and damn, I gotta beat myself.
You did it. That wasn't me.
But you see, at the end of the whole thing, we're still good friends about it because we still come to an understanding of how we think about it, but we're cool about it. I think the world should know about this as well. And honest to God, I think in a way we're both right about certain things about this, and I think
that's all it is.
Yeah, it's a matter of opinion. That's all it is. But honest to God, I think we want to hear your opinion about this. Does it matter? Does it not? Should it have been added? Should it not? Should it made some sort of difference in the game if it did happen, or just knock it off and just let it be and have that whole fantasy that maybe she does like dudes or maybe she likes girls? I mean, now we know that she kind of likes girls, but who knows? The story can still change. But I will love to hear your thoughts about this. Again, comment down below, let us know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about this. But yeah, Willie, dude, I gotta say this, dude, and I'm pretty excited for the new Flash movie. We got the whole trailer that came up on this week. I saw it. I was pretty giddy. I thought it was a pretty cool thing to see, the whole thing with our Batman, and then you have Batfleck, and then the 2 flashes and all the cool stuff happening. So I was like, all right, this is actually pretty interesting. But there's a lot of things going on. So it looks like the Flash premiere gets a glowing reaction, but Ezra Miller questions linger. And I'm kind of in the same boat because let's be honest, he's a pretty good Flash. You know, at least for movie wise, he's a pretty good Flash. There's sometimes I'm kind of like, why you're so jittery, why you so weird, and whatever. But that's just the character how he is. Now, Willie, let's talk about this right now. Bring up the story, you know, give the deets, and let's talk about this right now. Go ahead.
Very well. Recently, there's a thing going on now called CinemaCon. It's something that's open only to theater owners, and the press is invited as well.
Nice.
And it's Comic-Con style, where different companies may have panels where they talk about things. Warner Bros. Discovery had a new that had actually showed the movie.
Wow.
And there was a lot of positive response for it. A lot of people, I saw some of the tweets saying that this is like the greatest the greatest superhero movie ever.
I've heard the same thing.
You know what? Great. Like I always say, I don't want to see movies fail.
Of course not.
But we have to see, you know, we have to wait to see when we see it, if we feel the same way. This movie comes out in June.
Yeah,
but like I said last time we talked about Flash, which is when we talked about the trailer on Monday, there are still a huge cloud surrounding Ezra Miller. I am of the kind that you don't judge a person by everything they did in the past. A person can change. Mm-hmm. I know that they've gone through a lot of stuff. They're supposedly they're working on it. And the director, Andy Muschietti, and producer Barbara Muschietti both talked about it. And they're like, they know that they have to get better. They're working on themselves. And we want to support them so that, you know, they know that it's not just, oh, you did this bad thing, we're gonna cut you off. If it's true that they are working on themselves and they are trying to improve, and this will all be in the past, it doesn't change what happened, but you can at least say, you know, people make mistakes.
I mean, look at Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. That's the part. I mean, you're gonna throw. Everybody can throw that example 15,000 times, and it's true. We haven't seen that change yet, though. We only know that this individual did a whole bunch of messed up things, including hitting people. And I mean, if Jonathan Majors got raked over the coals and lost gigs because of it, Ezra Miller should as well. Does that mean they need to be kicked off of this movie? It's not that simple. It never is. You don't just go and throw a fully done movie into the crapper just because one person acted up.
True.
But these are things that you think about. These are things that, as consumers, we think about when we're going to go see a movie. Oh no, because Mel Gibson did a new movie. Oh, that racist prick. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, I'll go there. I'll go see that on streaming. Either way, the movie looks good. Yeah. Look, of course, we've only seen the 2 trailers, but what I see in the trailers looks good to me. I think that it could be a really good movie. We won't know until we see it.
Yeah. I'm still kind of on the fences on this one, Willie. I mean, not the fact that the movie's not going to do good. I'm pretty sure the movie's going to do great, especially that it's the summertime, summer blockbusters coming out already at this time. So it's pretty much right at the edge of the whole summer thing happening. Fantastic. That's going to be a good thing. Now, about Ezra Miller, though, that's the part I'm still a little skeptical about. Yeah, because it's all word of mouth that they say that he might do better. He might seek counseling. He might. It's always a might. There's always a might in the end of that. It's not that he is or he's doing it or nothing like that.
I will say he is supposedly doing it. Not that he's talking about it. They're saying that he's trying to get the help that he needs.
Okay. I will say
Again,
I'll say
until
put
I
your
see
money
the
what your mouth is.
exactly
There you go. You were gonna say it. You were
until
gonna
I
say
see the
it.
turnaround, I'm gonna call bullshit on it.
You know what? Again, I agree with you on this one, Willie, because anybody can say whatever they want. They can say they're going to see therapy. They can do whatever the hell they want. But if we don't see the change of the freaking narcissist looking thing that he's been doing, smacking people, doing all these other things, if we don't see that change, then we're just gonna call it as bullcrap, and we're just gonna be like, you know what, screw him, and just forget about him. In other words,
Yeah.
But again, that's just our opinion. Again, I'm interested what everybody has to say about this. But now, dude, I need to talk, bro. This is something that you showed to me. I had to read it 7 times because I couldn't even believe the first 2 things I was reading about this. Willie, really? Crash Bandicoot developers pitches film adaptation after Super Mario Brothers movie success? Really?
That's what the story is.
So you're telling me there's a possibility that we're going to be getting a Crash Bandicoot movie?
I mean, everything's a possibility. Remember, we live in a world where Beetlejuice 2 is a thing.
Yeah, but that was kind of like already in the back burner happening. And then when we saw this man do freaking he's done a good amount of movies, in these recent times, and they're like, you know what, throw in Beetlejuice, he'll probably kick butt in there. But
Oh no, they didn't say
this
that.
movie, no, but
They
I'm just
didn't
saying,
say
like,
that.
this movie out of all things, come on.
What they said was, hey, Beetlejuice was popular not too long ago. Let's make another one.
All right, well, they probably said that too. That's fine.
I have a theory. I have a theory about something, and you're gonna hate what I'm gonna tell you. But like always, we gotta talk about the story first and bring the details.
Go, bring it.
Everyone knows that the Super Mario Bros. Movie is making all the money right now.
Of course.
$1 billion movie. I don't think it's hit it yet officially, but $1 billion movie.
I say this weekend they'll get there.
So, of course, now that Mario did it, other people want to do it too. Can't say Sonic. Sonic did it first. They didn't make $1 billion, but they made 2 successful movies.
Yes.
Super Mario Brothers movie is so successful, they're talking about a universe now. Because everyone's got to have a damn universe.
Of course they do.
Well, Toys for Bob, the current developer of the Crash Bandicoot games, is like, we can make one. And so they pitched a Crash Bandicoot movie. Whatever you want to say, you can't sit there and say you're surprised. You cannot.
Okay. I'm not going to say I'm surprised. I am surprised. Who the hell am I kidding? Look, dude, with all the other IPs that PlayStation has that it can actually use, Crash Bandicoot, really?
Oh wait, I got a better one for you. I mean, if you want to get completely shocked,
please go ahead.
Remember, we're talking about characters that were during that time where every system had to have a mascot.
Yeah.
Okay. You know who's been on a spending spree lately?
Who?
You're gonna hear this and you're gonna think that I'm making this up.
Go.
Atari.
Okay, why?
Don't laugh.
Or who or what?
Don't laugh because you're gonna get mad with what I'm gonna tell you now.
Go.
They've been buying the rights to a whole bunch of games. They bought rights to arcade games. I forgot now the original developer. Berserk and Frenzy are now Atari-owned properties.
Really?
Remember Berserk?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an arcade game. You think of Atari, you think of arcade games. But they also bought the IPs belonging to Accolade. And if you think you've heard that name before, it's because you have. They made Demolition Racer on PC. They made the Hardball Baseball series, which was very popular back in the day.
Okay.
And Accolade owned Bubsy.
Bubsy the cat.
And so now Atari owns that. And now you're going to sit here and tell me how Atari is not going to get the same idea.
Oh,
We could make a Bubsy movie.
no. They're going to make the other one. If I were to make an Atari movie, I will have to go with
Don't say Ready Player One. That doesn't count.
No, man. Really get out of here with that. I was going to go for this game. God, I can't remember the name right now. The first Atari game that I remember. Well, they probably go for
Combat.
Space Invaders. No, not Combat.
Space Invaders is on the title.
No, the one God, I can't remember the name right now. It's so bad. The character that he's like in some sort of jungle Pitfall. Pitfall.
That's
the movie
by Activision.
Was it Activision?
That was an Activision game.
Fudge. Okay.
Atari licensed game. Atari owned games.
So Atari.
Asteroids.
Okay.
Yeah. Asteroids. Tempest. Missile Command. You're not gonna make games out of those. I mean, you're not gonna make movies out of those. They're making remastered versions of Asteroids and Missile Command. Like, they've been busy lately. I am willing to bet money that you're going to see if Crash Bandicoot gets greenlit, Atari is going to get it in their heads that everybody needs a Bubsy movie.
You know what? When that day happens, we'll be here to see my head explode.
But that's not the worst thing that could possibly happen.
What's the worst thing?
I actually thought about this.
I was
talking to somebody about this today because my never-ending quest is to remind everybody that nothing is old again. Everything that's old is new. You can't come up with anything original.
Go.
You know that they're going to eventually somebody is going to get the stupid idea. Hey, maybe we should make The Godfather again. It's going to happen, and I know the idea that they're going to have. And you're going to get mad at me because now with me saying it, it's going to happen. But you want to hear it.
I want to hear it because I know I'm going to get mad at this. Go.
Al Pacino as Vito Corleone.
What?
Al Pacino as Marlon Brando's character, The Godfather, Vito Corleone.
What? No.
Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Don't think about the Dunkachinos. Don't think about the hoo-ha. Don't think about any of that.
I can't because he was already freaking he wasn't the Godfather. He was freaking Michael. You cannot.
He was Michael, yes. Michael. But now they're gonna remake it. He's gonna be Vito, and somehow, some way, someone's gonna convince the studio that this is a good idea to do.
Oh, no.
And somehow, some way, they're gonna get Adam Driver involved, and he might be Michael.
Oh, you know what, man?
If that happens, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say it early. I don't care. If that happens, I'm sorry, and you're welcome because you should have seen it coming.
I didn't want to. That's the thing. I chose not to, and then you shoved it in my face, and now in my head, I'm just picturing him as Vito Corleone. I can't. No,
it makes too much sense.
No, it doesn't. It's just horrible. It's a disaster waiting to happen. That's what it is.
Hey,
and you know it.
Hey,
what?
There's been a lot of disasters that have come out in movies. They still happened, didn't they?
Yeah. You're wrong.
And you haven't watched Cocaine Bear yet.
I have not.
I know there's people. There's people out there who actually like the movie.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna have to watch that in RRR. I have to.
No, you have to watch RRR. We can't be friends anymore if you don't finish watching RRR.
Oh man, we have to be friends. What are you talking about? We have to be.
Okay, so go watch the movie. Go watch it tonight. You need to see Luke Cage and Hawkeye take down England.
Fine. I'll see if I can do it after this. After I finish editing this, which you're probably watching it now, and I'm done editing. You know.
There's
yeah, all right, fine. I know this is, folks. What do you guys think about everything we talked about from above and below? Please comment down below, let us know your thoughts, and let's have a conversation about this. But like you know already, we're done for today. So guys, thank you so much for joining us today on this amazing show. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button just to know we come out with some amazing news, which is 3 times a week. Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday, and a little something in between. Willie, I was going to ask you have any last words, but you already shared your last words. And as for me, I gotta say, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you on Friday. Peace.
Again, Google Thailand KFC.